You ready, Larry?
Gentlemen, President Larry Ivory.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago. My name is Dr. Larry Ivory. I am the President CEO of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and Chairman of the Board of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. It is always a pleasure to bring you very insightful information that really focuses on Black economic empowerment and strengthening Black businesses because that's the mission of the organization is to strengthen Black businesses. Let me also just get right into it, introducing our incredible host, the one and only Dr. LaDonna Raeh, who is an iconic figure in the radio and radio space and a creative IT technology. So, LaDonna, glad to have you again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Larry Ivory. I tell you what, we are powered by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. As you well know, we're here each and every Saturday on WVON 1690, but we're also sponsored by Wind Creek, Chicago Southland. I want to make sure that you guys share the show. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, make sure you share the show and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We enjoy you guys joining us, or should I say, being with us each and every Saturday. But also, you can go to that website, ILBCC.org, while we continue the conversation. Larry, what are we talking about today?
Well, hey, today, LaDonna, we have two gentlemen that I'm proud to say are business colleagues, but more importantly, friends. And they are players in the business community. We have Dr. Kenneth Harris,
He's
and
going to join us.
who
Yeah.
is the head of the National Business League, the one and only Dr. Ken Harris. And we also have my president, the president of the National Black Chamber of Commerce, Charles Abode, who will be joining us today to talk about this incredible conference coming up in Atlanta. So they're going to be giving us some details on it. This is an event, guys, you don't want to miss. I mean, if you're if you're a player in business and you want to be around some of the most significant people who make things happen, who know how to make money, and game changer, this is where you want to be. Over 3,000 people come to this conference, business people. And so they're going to talk a little bit about the conference and why this conference is so important and what it takes to get involved and engage.
Yeah. You know, last year we did the conference, and of course, years before that, and we celebrated our 20th year having the conference alone last year. What are some of the highlights that took place that would bring people back? Because I know when we asked people, would you come back to this conference and invite someone? They definitely said yes.
Well, I think when you take a look at what is put together in Atlanta in terms of a global perspective, let me highlight one thing. When you talk about international perspective, they have, well, we have countries from all around the world who are participating in the conference. And LaDonna, it is really an event. When I say you don't want to miss it, you know, people say that all the time when you're trying to promote something. But if you're a business person, you want a return on investment. You want to go to a place that, based upon the time, money, energy that you spend, that you get a return on investment. I guarantee you, if you go to the conference in Atlanta, you will meet some incredible people. You will have some incredible workshops, and you will come back enriched, and the return on investment will be phenomenal. I mean, and that's just no exaggeration.
What does
I,
that mean, though? What is your return on investment would be phenomenal mean? Because we always hear that when people are selling tickets to something, inviting us to something. But what does phenomenal mean for a business owner?
a connection where you can make money, man. At the end of the day, business is one reason. The primary reason for business is to make money. And if you're going to go to an event and you can find a business connection that can lead to opportunities from government agencies at the national level to local levels to new businesses that you've never even heard of before, this is an opportunity to get connected in a real way.
I love it. Well, we often talk about closing the wealth gap and creating jobs. But we need to also increase Black business ownership. I was at an event yesterday that you told me to go to, by the way, and I'm glad you did. Well, we were talking about international trading. But one of the biggest concerns about what we were talking about is when we go from putting our $2.1 trillion into the economy, and none of that is in our economy, our Black economy, then that's a problem. So if we're talking about building generational wealth, then why is it that we don't have the business ownership that it takes in order for us to circulate money in our own communities? So that was a conversation that came up last night. And I think, as well as I know, this convention will help with that, because now you've got entrepreneurs coming to the convention. You've got seasoned business owners coming to the convention. And of course, you've got different agencies and corporations coming to the convention. But I remember specifically the matchmaking. Can you tell us about that?
Sure can, LaDonna. One of the things that, this conference really does extremely well, among so many other things, when you go, they have people there who are industry experts, who have good services, products, opportunity for you to sit down and directly matchmake with. And that's really important. So what I want to do, LaDonna, I'm going to basically, let me see if we can't get Dr. Harris and Chuck DeBoe on the call. So if you can hold down the fort for just a moment, I'm going to see if we can connect them, okay?
I certainly can. All right, guys, as you know, we're talking about the convention that's coming up this year. If you go to ILBCC.org, you will see the convention it's been out there for a minute. So you'll see that it's out there with the date. Now, I'm going to give you the date and time and everything. So if I go to ILBCC.org and I go to our events under menu, all right, and then I go to, let's see, where is it at? I have to come back to it. Wait a minute. Okay, so it's in August. August is the day. Now I'm looking for the actual date. But anyway, I want to tell you about the how we had the event last year. Last year we had a convention, our 20th year anniversary convention. And because of that, oh, you know what? I see what happened. We took it off I have to relaunch it for Monday because we changed a few things. All right, so it's in August. Let me tell you something. The matchmaking is when corporations and agencies come out and they're ready to do business. They're looking for people to add to their budgets. They're looking, because you don't have to have what you think is relevant to that agency or that corporation. What you have to have is a business. And when you have that business, that corporation in that conversation will find a way for you to do business with them. That's the beautiful thing. Like, for instance, if you have a paper supply company, right? And you meet with someone like Wind Creek Casino, they buy paper anyway. So your paper supply company can become a vendor of their corporation. So now you have just matched with another business, a corporation that can use your business, and you never even thought of it.
Absolutely, LaDonna. And that's what this is all about, is creating wealth. And what this conference does so well is to put you in front of people that are looking to do business with people who are ready, willing, and able. I mean, you got to bring your A game. If you're thinking globally, you're going to have so many opportunities of major leaders from all around the world who will be attending this conference, the World Conference of Black Mayors, the National Black Chamber of Commerce, and the National Business League. That is a trifecta in terms of real legitimate organization that brings everyone together for the primary purpose of making business even more relevant in Atlanta, Georgia. And I dare say,
Relevant in Atlanta.
Pardon me?
You said relevant in Atlanta, Georgia.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
That's where the convention is going to be?
That's what it's going to be.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's why we took it off the site because we're moving. Okay. Talk more. Tell me more. What we going to at ATL?
Yeah, we going to ATL. Yes, that's the place to be. You know, if you're in business and you're not there, then the only reason you're not in Atlanta, if you're a business owner, is that you don't understand the power and the influence and the contacts that's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia
Okay.
in August, and I know our guest is coming on, but, it's really the place to be in terms of just pure opportunity. I mean, this, the energy, the excitement, the entertainment, you got everything at this particular conference. And it is the place, if you're in business and you're not there, then you just don't understand. There's just no place to be on those dates other than that place if you're serious about business.
I know that's right.
We have we
Well,
have Chuck DeBow. Chuck, I see you.
he's giving me. I'm giving you a finger, the church finger, Larry, because I didn't have him situated yet. Give me a
Oh, okay,
second. I'm
okay.
working
Hey,
on
but
it.
let me continue. Let's talk as we're getting ready. There's a lot happening. We're going to be having our conference in September after the national conference. But there's so much to be said about this environment, about business and getting prepared. And no matter what's going on, you still got to do business. Business still is happening, and you got to prepare yourself. And you got to get to the places where there's a return on investment. And like I said, I keep emphasizing this: the return on investment is going to the conference in Atlanta.
Well, Chuck is on now.
Hey, Mr. President, glad
Good
to have you
morning.
on. Mr. Chuck DeBow, glad to see you, my friend. Give us the dates on the conference. Tell us a little bit about Chuck, who you are, and your role. And then we're going to have Dr. Kenny Harris on. He's going to lay it out. And you guys are going to tell us about Atlanta and what's going on and why, if you're in business, you don't want to miss this event.
Well, we are we are blessed to be in a position to humble ourselves and bring folks together. And I'm going to really give full respect and dignity to my cohort, my partner, my brother, co-founder of the National Alliance of Black Businesses, Dr. Harris. But first, let me tell you, for anybody that say, "What? Who are they? What do we do?" And that we are I am the CEO and president of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. We are a federation of chambers of commerce who are mission to economically empower through entrepreneurism. We've been around for about 33 years. We are the first and original Federation of Black Chambers of Commerce. We're based in Washington, D.C., but we're very global, or dare we want to say unbossed and unowned in our pursuit for economic sovereignty. Between NBCC and our partner organizations that are the World Conference of Mayors with Mayor Johnny Ford and with dear Dr. Kenneth L. Harris, who is the president of the National Business League. And together we have co-founded the National Alliance for Black Business. And we decided that coming out of the pandemic and coming in the post era of the George Floyd showcasing of systemic racism, that we would just work together and try to not have to be great at everything, but just pick the things that we did best and collaborate and see how much more territory or how much expertise we could put into it. So that was, I believe, 5 years ago. We've come together and we've had our an annual conference, and it is the central convening of the National Business League. This is the 126th year of the convening of what originally began, founded by Booker T. Washington over 126 years ago. And it's in Atlanta on August 19th through the 22nd at the Hilton Hotel. And we have some exciting announcements and details that we're going to hear from Dr. Harris as soon as he comes on.
I love that. You know, this gives an opportunity for people to get in the room with the people that they need to pretty much formulate relationships with. The one thing that I find in business, Mr. DeBow, is that we don't build relationships like we should. You know, we kind of have had the expectation that, okay, I'm in business, you're in business, we should do business. But if we build those relationships and continue to build those relationships, it makes it a lot easier. Would you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it all the way back to the beginning of mankind.
Okay.
I mean, really, yes, and we just gotta remind people that this is basic. It's back. See, Booker T. Washington was talking about cast down your buckets where you stand. You know, and like, well, what does that mean? Well, you right here. The meteor hit the planet, and the planet created life. And where did it happen? It's where you stand. It's where you are. Which means what? We gotta talk to each other. We gotta do with what you can do right where you are. You know, well, here we go. So we need to bring Dr. Harris on. But see, segregation backfired. You know, we were all wanting to be validated. We want to be over there. The grass is greener, or y'all got it all clean and nice over there. Yeah, why can't we come in there? And the thing about it was, somebody want to pat you on the head and say, "Son, you don't know what you're standing on. Those aren't rocks. Those are gold.
Gold nuggets.
Those things over there, those are diamonds." And this child or this woman, this person you just met.
Yeah, I'm getting your attention now.
You don't know.
Hey Chuck, let me interrupt you guys just for a second. LaDonna, I just sent you another link for Dr. Ken Harris.
Yeah.
You sent him for some reason it's not going through. So if you can send him, we definitely want Dr. Ken Harris on the call here. So send that to him and he'll see if he can pop on. I know Chuck can handle his business. There's no question about
Well, yeah, but it's not fair to have all the fun by yourself. But not only that, because you ask me these kind of questions to set off my reason of existence. Why am I even alive? What at this point? You reach that point in life when you get a little bit older and you've done a few things. You just get to the point you say, well, I really don't feel like I got something to prove to everybody else. I got to prove it to myself.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, man. Hey,
Yeah.
Chuck, while we're doing that, Harry, which was your brother-in-law, and Kay were the architects of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. And as we're waiting for Ken, Harry was like a big brother to me. And it was the first time I ever got into a meeting with major corporations and saw a person who was African American, who stood up, was unapologetic, unbossed. And I thought when we did certain things, I said, we ain't gonna make it home, Harry. Because I thought for sure the way he was handling business in such a way was so enlightening, and he didn't back down. He didn't take a step backward. He was full steam ahead, and I admired him so much and Kay for the work that they did because they taught me how to stand up. And it's through their leadership that I've been able to do what I do throughout the state and throughout the country.
It's a moment though to kind of for me to reflect the opposite viewpoint. We see it as you being that one of the people right there handing a brick or putting the mortar down on it and building this foundation that you were right there. You were also one of the architects, and in addition to that, you've grown and have become uh, multiple times serving as chairman of the organization, and even now more so, uh, a consummate leader. But we're finding that it's the same challenges, the same things that we're having to repeat, and it doesn't matter. See, if you base it on politics, that's going to constantly change.
Mm-hmm.
And if you base it on who you are or what's going on in the community, and particularly like which some of the stuff you guys got going in Chicago, you start to see progress, or you can measure it in various ways. That's really what we're trying to do, and you'll hear a lot more about it from Dr. Harris in terms of our conference. That what we're doing is really about the people that attend, and that's where we got together and said, in a day and age where there were so many conferences or options you had, and you can go through and you can like this one, or one had a feature or something about it where certain types of people or certain types of activities. What we're doing with the 126 um, convening of the National Business League, World Conference of Mayors, and National Black Chambers of Commerce, our constituents, and I feel like right here I can hear Dr. Harris coming in. I mean, what he would say. Are we able to include him in this part of the dialogue?
I don't see him yet. You know what, Larry? Just have him call me.
He got it, LaDonna. He is getting ready to get on as we
Oh, okay.
speak.
All right.
So, so
Tell me
let's
something.
talk a little bit about Dr. Ken Harris, who's coming on, Chuck, as as one of the critical people in the country when it comes to black business empowerment with the National Business League. And I want to give him the appropriate send off because most people know him if you're in business. Some people may not know him, but he represents the organization that Booker T. Washington founded, which was really, Chuck, if you go back and take a look at history, Booker T. Washington founded the first Chamber of Commerce in the United States of America. The others copied him. So they copied what Booker T. Washington did and applied it to them. And now you have the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. But all that came out of Booker T. Washington, quite frankly. And I think when Ken gets on, he may give us a little history lesson in reference to that. But Ken give us Chuck, give us a little bit more about Dr. Ken Harris as he's coming on.
Dr. Ken Harris is a
He is here. He's here.
Oh, good. I'm. Whew, thank the Lord have mercy. Hey, you heard the
Dr.
question,
Harris.
doctor. If you heard the question, like, oh, I can't talk about a Negro like he ain't here because he's here. He right here. He right here with me. He in my heart, in my mind, and what we're doing. So I'm a be quiet. Let y'all welcome this
Yeah,
gentleman.
we in there. We in there. Can y'all hear me? Check
Sure
one.
Yes.
can.
Welcome, Dr. Harris.
It's an absolute pleasure. I get to hang out with the two latest and greatest, and then we add that feminine quality, and it makes it all perfect.
Lovely. Thank you.
Dr. Harris, tell us a little bit about the National Business League and then get right into why this conference is so important and give us a sense of what's going to be happening in Atlanta.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, one, let me just, it's always so good to be in partnership with my comrade, my friend, my colleague, the Honorable Charles H. DeVoe III, President of the National Black Chamber, and its steward leadership, Dr. Larry Ivory. Man, I tell you, man, it's been an incredible ride with you all and what we've been able to do in the midst of all of this change and disruption that is happening all across the country, man. I just got to take my hat off to you guys. So thank you so much. This is really what it's all about. I always say Negroes with egos is a no-go. And we've decided that we can put our egos aside and put the community first And that's what's most important at this time. It's going to take that type of leadership for the future. But to answer your question, the National Business League, which is the nation's first and oldest trade association for Black-owned businesses in the United States, founded by the iconic and legendary Booker T. Washington in 1900, will be celebrating this 126th National Business League Conference hosted by the National Alliance for Black Business, which is co-founded by the National Black Chamber of Commerce. We are presented again. What I love about our conference, especially post DEI, post civil rights, is that we've decided that we can do this by ourselves in a sovereign way. And so we have Traffic Sales and Profit, a Black-owned company, step up with $100,000 to be presenting sponsor of this national conference that's going to take place August the 19th through the 22nd at the Hilton Atlanta Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. So, for those who have been a part of the post-COVID-19 economic shutdown pandemic, we came together as an alliance and decided that we wanted to start organizing Black businesses right away. So Atlanta's been on fire every year. Last year, we had over 3,000 people, over 33 Pan-African countries from Africa, South America, and the Caribbean, in large part and thanks to the National Black Chamber and its deep international network across the world, and also our other co-founding partner, the World Conference of Mayors. And you all know the Honorable Mayor Johnny Ford, the first Black mayor of Tuskegee, Alabama. So we'll be getting together. For those who haven't been, we moved our conference from a 7-day all week conference to a 2.5-day conference with a pre-conference. And on Wednesday the 19th, we'll have our National Alabama Black Business Breakfast and Kickoff and Booker T. Washington tour. We take about 200 or so CEOs from the conference from all over the world, and we bring them to where it all started, Larry and Chuck, in Tuskegee, Alabama, the home of Booker T. Washington. So they get a chance to meet the business best and brightest, the political infrastructure, and then we go on tour to find out where the impetus, where the start has been for entrepreneurship, enterprise ownership, and development, and the Booker T. Washington model of economic sovereignty and independence. And that's what we're going back to. That is this year's theme. So if you haven't seen the advertisement, this year's conference is the Book of AI. We're jumping 2 feet in to the AI industry, which is changing every single day, from retail to healthcare to construction to manufacturing to education, transportation, professional services. AI is changing how business gets done. And so it's not whether or not AI is coming. It's already here, Larry and Chuck. The real question is, will we own the future or simply consume it? We've missed a lot of revolutions, a lot of different transitions and shifts in society, from the agricultural age to the industrial age to even the technology age. But now we're in the AI age, and we will not miss this. So the Book of AI is in a place. And what's going to make this even more special, Chuck and Larry, is that we're not just going to have a talk shop. We are coming together for Project 2035. They had Project 2025. We're coming up with our own 10-year strategy towards a national economic sovereignty think tank. And this will be the first time in American history that we have had over 1,000 plus professionals and entrepreneurs come together to put our own 10-year economic sovereignty plan and agenda in motion. And so why is that needed? Economic sovereignty is having greater control over our economic future. It means building businesses instead of just working in businesses. It means owning technology instead of only using the technology. It means creating jobs through entrepreneurship. It means building wealth, owning land, expanding manufacturing, and growing businesses with the new digital and AI age. So that's it in a nutshell, my friend. I don't want to belabor the point, but you need to be at this conference if you're interested in the future and if you're interested in coming behind the National Black Chamber, the World Conference of Mayors, and over 100 plus organizations as we assemble in Atlanta.
Hey, Dr. Harris and Chuck, and I know that there's been conversation that you guys may very well have. I mean, you guys, we may very well have
Yeah,
the largest contingency of black business ever in terms of pure numbers. Talk a little bit about, and then tell me a little bit about some of the. I know there's an enormous amount of workshop. I've seen entertainment. I mean, I've seen social media giants, everything. Give us some sense, guys, of what you don't want to miss. I know you don't want to miss none of it. The international side. Just give me something, man. Give me some more of that.
go ahead, Chuck.
Well, while everybody's following along, there's a lot of information, and part of the experience and the fun of it is just to see the website alone. The information is at nationalbusinessleague.org, and you'll see all the stuff we're talking about, but it comes to life. I mean, in the life in the rendition of just Booker T. Washington himself is leading you the path, the journey. He's bringing us the book of AI. We're going into a new era. We're going into a new thing. There are over 300 speakers. I believe, Dr. Harris, correct me, but I believe over 600 people apply to be speakers. And what does that mean? That means that on Saturday, the August 22nd, we have over 100 workshops that are being led by subject matter experts. What Dr. Harris is also telling you too, imagine this. Imagine that, and you're a leader, you own your own business, or you're a corporate leader, or you're somebody that feels has an opinion, but maybe you don't like to talk that much, or maybe you don't feel anybody recognizes you or gives you that opportunity. And that was the original of what we're talking about on this show right here with you all today, is not trying to be about me or about you, but it's about us. And that's what we're talking about, having to talk, having to communicate, having that opportunity to all get together. So that right there, what you're saying, Larry, is yes, is true. We aren't necessarily pursuing the fact, but we haven't found a place where there are more and more dynamics on who's in the room, who's there. And yes, it is over 3,000, but more importantly, we always laugh because it is, you talk about networking when, I mean, and we're really talking diasporan. I think Dr. Harris mentioned there's 33 countries there. We've been on the phone this week with delegations that are coming from Nigeria. We know that the Ethiopians are coming, and not only are they coming, they're asking for certain opportunities to be able to communicate, to be able to interact. We've got groups coming from Kenya. Historically, we've always had our brothers from India, New Delhi, India, that are saying, you know, we your cousins, we're just involved, we're just as much black as anybody else, and we've been just persecuted just as much, and don't let us be left behind. So there's a number of things. This year, though, it's a central theme. It's like it is about AI. And what is it? So everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something they can tell you about AI. And what? Well, the chamber, the National Black Chamber of Commerce, has been saying, all right, we need to tell our businesses, our chambers, our members of our federation that if you aren't there yet, of which 78% of businesses, small business in particularly, are not really utilizing AI, and AI helps with other things as well. It's not, first we said, oh my God, they're going to replace jobs. Somebody's job's going to get lost or whatever. Now we're finding out it isn't so much about the job as much as the capability. It's increasing our capacity. When you realize that your competitor or somebody you see. It's like somebody lived across the street from you, and you see every Monday morning we're all out there together putting our trash out, or we're out there at the end of the day bringing the cans back up, and you wave at your neighbor and you see whatever, and all of a sudden the neighbor's popping up and says, "Well, you know, I just switched cars. I got a Tesla." And you go, "Oh man, how's that electric car doing for you? And what you done?" And they say, "Well, so far it's going good, or I don't understand this, but it's working like that." And that's the first part of it. That's the early adaption. Then all of a sudden you say, "Well, I don't even have to drive it and I'm comfortable with it." Or I hired a virtual laborer because they can use AI to cover the basic things that I needed three more people to do. But now I'm able to have one person that can cover three or four different types of things. And when you look at marketing and communications and the level of it, I mean, just be personally, we have to take a moment and read every word, every letter in something that we write or that we sign or that we've got to review. It takes time and energy, and it's hard to do it by yourself. You
Hey,
really
Chuck. Chuck, let me jump in real quick because I know this time flies and we got
sure
about
does.
a
If
few
you
more
ask me
minutes
questions,
left.
I go off on it. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. Hey, man, you're fine. You get as much time. If I had 5 hours, you can get all of it from me. Okay, but I just want to ask this question. One of the biggest challenging things, and that I think about the conference, is that the downside is that there's so much to do. There's so many workshops.
Yeah.
Your biggest challenge is going to be to figure out which one to go to. You're gonna be there's gonna be so much happening
Yeah.
and so much to choose from that you're gonna be like, look, so you're gonna have to bring some friends and say, look, I can't go to that. I want to go, but you go to that, we'll come back and we convene. So you're gonna really need to bring some people with you because there's gonna be so much happening that can impact your lives that you just can't miss this event. I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be there. LaDonna Raeh is an AI person. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be kicking it. We're gonna have some fun. And we're gonna be some great people. Dr. Harris, tell us something else about the conference so that people really understand the magnitude of what has been put together on behalf of business owners globally.
Yeah, no question. And Chuck is 100% correct. I think what is a differentiator and a value statement and an impact statement on why you want to attend, why there is a return on your investment. And let me talk about that investment real quick. We made sure that we just didn't have the ivory tower concept. We made this conference available to the whole community. So if you ain't got no money, no chicken dinner money, you don't have no money that you're gonna spend out with the lady, that date money that you take your wife, your significant other. You can take that $100 and you don't even have to use it because the conference is free.
What?
Okay, to attend the workshops and things of that nature. So what we did was, as we said, we got to stop the divide and conquer game. Let's open this conference up. You don't get all the bells and whistles that Larry and Chuck get, but you get entrance, right? But don't be mad because Larry and Chuck got the full conference package and they eating five-star meals. They're going to VIP engagements. They're getting it led into secure rooms with ambassadors, presidents of countries, getting opportunities with major Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies. But hey, you can up your game up when you step into the room. And I tell you, Larry, as soon as people get to the conference and they see them name badges on at the full conference, people pull that credit card out and say, how can I get in that room, right? But the whole point is education is the key to our liberation. And we should not be having workshops and seminars that are not available to the people who need it most. We shouldn't have these barriers to entry. So we allow for everybody to get into the game. So that's why you want to be here on August the 19th. We're going to Tuskegee. Those who never been and seen Booker T. Washington's home, we're going to give you the history. If you've never seen George Washington Carver and the peanut, we're going to show you where he actually discovered the peanut at Tuskegee University, if you've never been to the HBCU, we're going to do that. Then we're going to come back to Atlanta for a 2 full-day conference. And what is different than this year and the last successes over the previous 3 years? This year, you will be a part of a national economic sovereignty think tank called Project 2035. So we're going to not just be talk shops anymore. We're going to lead this conference with an agenda and a white paper that we can take to the White House, that we can take to Congress, that you can take to your state legislature, your governor, your mayor, and we're going to move with some action points, okay? Because we have to have an agenda and not their agenda, our agenda. So, folks, go to www.nationalbusinessleague.org/conference, click on conference. We keep it simple for you. The conference is 100% digital. 100% digital, folks. So whether you attend or not, you can still network on the app that is going to be open even after the conference. So thank you, Larry, for that.
You know, I want to jump in for a second because you guys have made this a man fair. Listening to you both, has been quite impactful. But I just want to make sure that, I want it to become really clear, and it has become clear that the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce isn't operating in a vacuum. We're working across the country through Larry's leadership as chairman of the National Black Chamber of Commerce in Illinois, having a seat at the table. And by the way, I'm rolling with Larry. I'm gonna have a name badge too. Y'all ain't gonna put me on the cheap seats. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But how important is it in the time that we have? How important is it for Illinois businesses to be connected, not just locally, but nationally at this conference? Chuck?
What was, rephrase the last little part. You said nationally at the conference. What?
Yeah. How important is it for Illinois businesses to be connected?
Here's the fun thing about it. Dr. Harris, what he's conveying and what I'm reiterating is that, you always want everybody to be there, and for whatever reason, some people haven't. And we even had some people that, for crazy reasons, like because of where they live or who they go to church with or whatever, affiliations, whether or not they want it or feel or something. Man, forget all that kind of stuff. We really don't care, and don't nobody else care. You can even follow this thing virtually, and get there. But then that's when you realize that you messed up, because the person over here I just met in the hallway has exactly what I need, and we're not even going in next. We're going over here in the coffee shop, and we already make a deal. And the next hour or so, you say, man, I found what I needed. I mean, we had people in our exhibitors area that were coming through and saying, man, I wasn't sure about this, but I just made a deal that paid for my whole trip. Mm-hmm. I'm good. I'm good now. I can have fun. I can relax. As you can kind of tell, everybody's like kind of watching their pennies or doing what they're doing, but they're forged out. That's what we're talking about with AI. That's what we're talking about with the future. We're talking about stepping out, coming out your comfort zone. So your question about how important is it? When you click on this thing, like right here, y'all don't care where I'm at. I could be in India. I could be in Africa. I could be whatever. But then when we really going to do what we got to do, then we got to say, well, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get my product there? How am I going to get my money?
Yeah.
And then what's going on with the government's hand in this? Where are the tariffs? Or how? Or can these people even get in the country? Or can I get in their country? Or where you start getting into all these kinds of things of where big business, which has, and I'm talking about global Fortune 500 type stuff. I'm talking about now the people that are walking in that are getting invited into these rooms, and they say, I saw a thing at the White House where they got a bunch of businessmen from India. They got here and they said, we brought $1 billion and we're going to do this deal. We're going to sign that. And one of the guys said, you know what? We got to up our ante. You guys are playing at a different level over here. We need to put 15 billion down. So that's the world we're in. But when we aggregate when we come together and work together, we're competitive and we're in the room and we're making a difference. I do want to add one more
Amen.
thing here. One thing before I shut up. Did y'all know that the originators of artificial intelligence are just like the hidden figures? There's about three or four brothers, black guys, that are actually being credited were originating the code that was written that started artificial learning. That are the basic building blocks of what we know as AI today. So much so that NVIDIA, the people that make the chips, are naming their new chips after Dr. Hollowell.
All
And
right,
that's
Oh
some
man,
I
of
want
the
to go ahead
gentlemen
and
that
that's
created.
I want to grab a quick caller. Just I won't be able to get to all of them, but let me just grab one. Hey, caller, you're live on WVON.
Okay, thank you, Miss LaDonna. I just want to say thank you to the gentlemen in the National Negro Business League. My mother took us to Tuskegee as kids, and my sister went to college there, and several people. But also, I want to mention Emmett Scott. He worked with Booker T. Washington. You should look him up. He's the one that helped him start that Negro Business League. And I want to say, why can't we make T-shirts that say the Negro Business League, started by Booker T. Washington in 19? I'm sorry. Because why can't we have those and make a little bank out of 10 and give it to our children and say, you rebuilding what we had?
I love that.
And
Thank you
not
so much, caller. Thank you. I think we're gonna get on that right away. As a matter of fact.
okay. I'm back. Bye bye.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, dear.
hang up.
Well, Larry, in closing, because we only have a couple of minutes, I'm glad we took that call. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that why this doesn't happen without local chambers, and this is one of them, the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. And Larry, I know we'll probably have you write an article so you can talk about how the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce prepares businesses throughout the year so that when they attend these national conventions, they're ready to compete and ready to take advantage of those opportunities and not just show up and pass out business cards. So I'm going to give you the floor.
well. Hey, look, let me just thank our guests and my friends and my brothers who have the same mission of Black economic empowerment. And I'm honored to have them. And I want you guys to come back on the show, okay? Again, and I want us to put up on the screen how you can get registered because this is, if I care about you, it's like if you find a place where you really enjoy a good movie, you tell your friends about it. If you have a place that, you have a good dinner, you want to, people who you care about, you want them to have that same delicious experience. I need you to have this same experience that I'm getting and that you will get so you can tell other people. So one day we look up, we got 10,000 people at the conference. It really is a place to be. And I'm not on hype. I'm just on real stuff. When you care about people, you want people to benefit. And people who say, it's not, it's what you care about that really matters. And we care about each other. So let's come down to the conference. Man, nothing but the greatest amount of respect and love for my president, Charles DeBow, out of Washington, D.C., and the iconic Dr. Ken Harris, man, nothing but love for you guys. We're going to be kicking it. So if you ain't there, you just got to hear about it.
I know that's right. Well, you're going to have to hear about this because it's 10 o'clock, guys. The hour goes by so fast. I want to thank all of our listeners. Make sure you share the show if you're on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, and we'll be back next Saturday, probably because it's the holiday, Larry. I know you might give me the day off. We'll see what happens. But I tell you what, guys, thank you so much for listening. Keep the comments going because we still can go back and read them. All right, guys, we'll talk. And what was that? Yeah, the music is playing over what you're saying, but you can always call me and tell me what you said. All right, guys, that's it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye
Thanks
for
having
now.
us. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Saturday morning at 9, where change begins with every sunrise.
Welcome to the Wake Up Show, Chicago.
The talk of Chicago is 1690.